Hi Tanya, welcome back to the campus and Lucknow. How does it feel to be back on campus?
First of all, thanks for having me here. I think the feeling is very emotional and very nostalgic. Every aspect of the campus, what I'm seeing is has a story towards it. And I think if I'm feeling so connected when I've come alone, if I really come with my real friends, the network which I had built with I'm Lucknow and the way we grew in those 2 years, I think it would be a massive emotional moment for all of us.
Sure. So I would like you to um, address our audience for our podcast series by Alumni Committee during our Samvaad podcast series. So which comprises of discussions on various critical themes and forums for our audience. So let's start with your life at IIML memories. So what are some memories which you recall sitting here or coming back to campus, and how the changes have been there in the campus, and how in relation to the when you were in that when you were studying.
Sure. I think what campus teaches is you is life skills. Uh, Year one is one of the toughest year I've ever found in my entire life. But probably that prepared me for my next 10 years, how I have been coping up. We were literally surviving probably on 2 to 3 hours of sleep. The classes used to be at midnight, the quizzes used to be early morning and early morning, like 4, 5 a.m., really random times. You just have to be every time prepared. And that really prepared me for the outside world. Now, organizations are such high velocity organizations. On personal aspects, you have such demanding job at home as well. But that's what that life skill and Lucknow taught us about. That is, you have to be at 101% of your capability throughout. So that's how my journey has been. Year one super tough, but year two amazing. I think that's where it's started showing us results. That okay, whatever we studied, whatever we nurtured, this is the time we can actually see the results. And of course, the rest is history. What I am today is because of year one. I would say definitely for Anand now.
So who are your favorite professors at IIM Lucknow? Are you in touch with them?
I think my favorite or most connected, I would say, would be so Madhumita Chakraborty. She used to teach us finance, and I think I was really poor at finance in year one. I had no idea what is happening, but she really understood that okay, how I was struggling, why am I not able to cope up. She really paid a lot of personal attention then to ramp me up, gave me very good advice, and that's what usually a coach or mentor is. Uh, mm, Role is in person's life. I think that first trimester in year one played an essential role from financial management perspective. Now I'm not scared of numbers. I was never scared of numbers, but I think the speed and velocity at which it was being taught, I was not able to catch up. But she was a true mentor, I would say, and it's always a memory etched in my heart. Two or three girls of us, we were always crying on a terrace in hostel one because we had performed really bad in financial management. But Madhumita ma'am was the one who encouraged us, told us where we were failing, what was exactly happening, and helped us in coping up. So definitely that's something I really owe to her.
And that's very true. I mean, Madhumita ma'am is always having a smiling face. She has a big, large smile, and she's always smiling, looking at the students, and she teaches very well the financial course. Okay, so let's talk about your career trajectory, how you pivoted from a strategic role to a sales and marketing domain in Amazon. And does IIM Lucknow learnings help you and realize your inclination towards sales and marketing?
Sure. I think when I started my career trajectory, it was via summer placement at Mahindra. So I was given a chance to strategize introducing cooking oil for Mahindra. And Mahindra is into tractors and automobiles. No one knew how this company can actually produce cooking oil, but that was a project about. And I think I did a good job probably. They actually launched a new pro brand in India, and I got a pre-placement offer. So I immediately joined them after completing my MBA from here. And the role which was given to me was a sales strategy role. And in that sales strategy role, it was to sell automobiles, cars, SUVs, Boleros in tier 2 and tier 3 markets. The team was made up of 16 men, and I was the only woman. So, but I think I was doing a really good job, and I liked what these other 16 people were doing, and probably they liked what I was doing. But I think that's where that moment of truth came in. That they are the ones who are connected to the customers. They are the ones who are making the change, convincing the customers, convincing the dealers what needs to be done. Though I'm doing a good job in carving out the strategy, etc. but the entire aspect lies for me in those customer interactions because that's where the most learning is. So instead of sitting behind the desk, I really wanted to be in front of the customer. That's where I took a pivot and I decided to do a front ending sales and marketing role. And fortunately, an opportunity within Mahindra opened up and they considered me. It was in IT services, totally different domain, and it was to sell Tech Mahindra IT services to all telecom giants in Europe. I think I did pretty okay there. Established very good connects, got some Young Leaders Award, and it was a completely new domain. I felt language was another constraint there because I was in Amsterdam. Dutch language is very much appreciated, and I'm not just like my finance. Probably I'm not very good at languages. I thought maybe I should take another pivot and continue the sales domain, sales and marketing domain, but probably in an English-speaking country. And that's where me and my family decided with a 10-month-old baby that, okay, let's move to London. And fortunately, everything worked out. Amazon gave me a very good role. They were that time building this startup called Amazon Freight. Gave me a very good role in introducing Amazon Freight across UK and Europe. Get anyone on board, convince any customer you want to. There was so much of enthusiasm, openness towards that service that I started to onboard that journey. Shifted to London 4 years back. And yeah, I think since then I have been really working with my soul. I call it my own baby because that's the association with that startup. And behind that is Amazon's brand name. So it's good recognition, good work, good momentum from customers, which we get. And it has been really going good. And what all we are trying to do is how we call it building a plane while we are riding it. So it's chaotic, but it's lovely.
Oh, nice. So you mentioned that the differences of experience you had in a foreign country vis-a-vis, working in India. So can you highlight some of your instances or experiences wherein you find that the Indian sales and marketing culture or the customer or how corporates work is very different in terms of working as compared to the foreign country?
Sure. I think yeah, Indian culture or Indian domain, Indian businesses are very fragmented in nature, very deconsolidated. Probably that's not the case in the foreign market, especially in Europe, UK. Everything is very organized. I'm in logistics and transportation industry, which is extremely fragmented in India. You'll find truck drivers, small business units in every silos. Probably it's very similar in Europe, UK, but still it's at least 100%, 100 times more organized. That's very much a big difference. Second thing is the kind of diversity which people bring on table. We are probably a few Indians, few other Asians like Chinese, Japanese, different other nationalities from Europe, many Americans, now even Australians. So a lot of diversity. You understand the different aspects they're coming from, different knowledge base they get from. Level of networking takes a different pivot altogether because in India then you're focused only on specific markets, specific people who know the market where you also belong to. But the diversity plays an important part from your self-learning aspect as well. And I think it's a great exposure, which everyone should at least try once in a lifetime. Even if you don't want to make a long-term commitment, at least as a short-term commitment, you should definitely try because it's a great exposure. You get to see how other cultures work, how other people work, how other customers work. Because customer understanding, everything is very different from what people are expecting in India.
Nice. So what happens when a PGP1 student comes to a B school and when they are interested in sales and marketing, they have a preconceived notion that they want to do marketing and not sales. They have pre-apprehensions for not doing sales. So can you highlight some of the importance of doing sales before marketing and how can it help a company as well as having consumer insights for a student to become a better leader or to become a better marketer in future?
I think I'll give you a simple example here. Sales is something where you're actually interacting with the customer. Their pulse is in your hand. You understand how the dynamics are playing. Is the customer interested, not interested? What did I say to them that is making them interested? What did I say to them that is making them distracted? You get to know each and everything about that customer when you're actually interacting with them. When you're in marketing, you're working on some preconceived notions. Maybe the customer wants this. Maybe the customer has needs of this. I think having that knowledge, what exactly the customer wants, is where sales come into picture. And if you know that, you'll be a great marketer because you've already done your groundwork. For me, I always feel, and usually that also a pattern is what I see in the industry, even in the recruitment, that people do offer sales role initially so that you get to understand, grasp the nuances of sales of the market, go through the difficulties of each channel, and apply those in the marketing strategies. So for me, I feel taking sales first is the starting step for sure. And then you can decide you want to continue in sales, you want to continue in marketing, you want to continue in maybe strategy, it's up to you. But sales definitely puts you very focused from a consumer perspective.
Sure. I agree to this. When I was doing my internship at Samsung during summers, working on ground really gives you consumer insights which you will not get while sitting in a corporate office. And people really value that.
Exactly, and even right now, our marketing teams are always reaching out to us to understand, okay, what kind of people should we target? Okay, what should be our messaging? So when salespeople are so much involved in that, if the marketer would have already done that work through the personal experience, they would get a lot of advantage, will be much ahead of the game if they have that right experience.
Sure, those little market insights are so valuable to a company, to a firm for selling their product. So little, as you mentioned in the morning as well, one tweak in the UX UI will change the sales level of your company. So very correctly mentioned. So you talked about that you were in the team of 16 men and 1 woman. So what kind of challenges are women facing in sales and marketing domain, and how can they overcome the same?
Yeah, I think more than marketing, I think the challenges lie for women are in the sales side of things because you're required to travel, you might be needed on the field all the time. But it's again very industry dependent. If you are in, I think, retail domain, then maybe, or FMCG domain, maybe you will be expected to be on the field more frequently. If you are, let's say, in the e-commerce side of thing or IT services side of thing, it's more need based. So decide how much you want to travel, where does your niche lie, how much your physical capacity lie. I don't think so. I was like ready to travel all 5 days a week. I also wanted a breather so that my health is also not impacted. So I didn't go for FMCG sales, etc. I found IT sales as a much more sophisticated sales, probably I would say. Similarly, what I'm doing right now, it's more logistic services sales. Though the term is very rustic in nature, but the work is not. It's still very sophisticated because you're actually discussing with logistics directors, supply chain directors, transportation directors, and trying to sell your transportation services. So I think women or men, they have to decide how much they want to really be on the field, how much they want to do some offline work, and create the right rhythm, how it matches with their capabilities.
Thanks. So my next question would be how women marketers influence female consumer behavior, and how the diverse perspective of a woman helps in increasing the sales or helping sales
I think
overall.
women are creating a different segment altogether when it comes to taking a very solid example of Mama Earth. Probably that company never existed. Even I came to know when I realized the need for it that okay, where are the organic products for the kids when I had kids, and that's where I realized that okay, one mama like me actually went through this journey and she couldn't find anything, so that she had to create an entire company on that possibility of having a eco-friendly product. Similarly, what we heard in today's panel with Sutta, right? When not many companies are actually putting sustainability as the main point when it comes to clothing. So a person had to actually create a complete brand to provide organic clothing. So I feel when it comes to innovation, relationship management, creativity, women are really miles ahead from anyone else. There's a lot of need which actually women generate. From sustainability point of view, I think we all go through a lot of monthly aspects. Not many women have right now worked on that part. Maybe someone can also do that. I don't think so any men would be actually involved there. And even that topic is very close to my heart because I feel that's one field we women should actually pour our thoughts on sustainable environment, which is also very core to our health. And all those creativity things really add a lot of value, not only from marketing perspective, but also from product perspective that okay, where the demand lies. Women are also a category who want to do more in way less time because they're probably doing 200 things, 200 times of things of what men is doing in the same amount of time. They really need very high efficient processes. Really need to be very highly productive, and for that they need the right tools. So any app which any company creates, if the app is not satisfying a woman, I don't think so it will be successful because this woman is short on time. She needs to get things done. And if she needs to get things done, it has to be really very efficient. The UI needs to be very seamless. And all these feedback can really come from women. I think they should definitely be considered as a category when it comes to product enhancements, product reviews, customer reviews.
Next. So as you mentioned, women are really multitaskers. So moving on to this point, Can you share some of your instances, personal experiences, wherein you successfully managed both your personal as well as your professional life, being in sales domain, since you're a mother also, how did you manage all of that?
I think this aspect probably you'll realize maybe 5 to 10 years down the line. But there's again a big pivot which comes in a woman's life when you are in your 30s, you start having um, your kids, one, two, depending on what your preferences are. But that's a completely different aspect which adds to your usual momentum. You're expected to then work around the clock. Your mind will not be at rest, be it from ordering groceries to diapers to doing your project work to managing customers. Everything needs to be done within 24 hours. And you also need to manage your own health, your mental health, your physical health. You need to make time for your sleep. Probably for men, it's not the same. Though everyone is equal parenting right now, we are Gen Z probably, so we all believe in equal parenting. But still, it's much more of a difficult task for women. But more than as a challenge, I see that as an advantage because it teaches us to be much better at multitasking. For me, it's very important that I need to be 100% productive. If I'm sitting on a document, I need to ensure that I get it first thing right because I might not have time to reread it and understand it further. So I think married women with kids are much more productive. They are doing much more work than what men are doing. And there's certainly a different level of advantage which comes in because you're dealing with negotiations in office, but you're also dealing with negotiations and tantrums at home. You're dealing with complexities in life and professional world, but the same thing is also ongoing at home. So if you're doing that dual aspect in professional and personal way, it definitely adds a lot to your caliber. I think it's a wonderful experience, I would say, rather than it's a disadvantage.
Very correctly mentioned. Even when I look at my mother at home, she is handling so much tasks in those 24 hours without complaining, without giving tantrums to other family members, and it's such incredible to see that. Okay, so moving to
I think more than that, anything, it teaches you patience. If you can be patient at home, nothing, and even if the house is on fire in office, you'll still be patient. And I think even my colleague probably recognizes this that, okay, she is someone who will be very calm down despite everything is burning down because, okay, she'll react, first analyze, react because we see that as a usual situation at our homes. So patience and resilience is something which definitely your personal life teaches you more.
true, and it's very important when you take on a corporate journey. This patience is very important. You have to be on your foot every time and not react first, think, and then act accordingly.
Exactly.
Yeah, so moving on to the last question. So, what would be the last piece of advice you would want to give to our audience, to the first year and second year people who want to get into sales domain or marketing domain? What should they look forward to? What should be the right skills they should attain or inculcate in themselves to be successful in that area?
Sure. I think find your own niche. The world is your stage. That would be my advice. And you are the one who's performing. Perform to the best of your abilities. Mm, if you know what your USP is, be it marketing, selling, I don't know if you're a finance wizard or a strategy wizard, it's important that you understand where your USP lies in and really build on that. Uh, the world is so competitive. There's so much of demand. You have to go a step beyond. A JD cannot describe you. You need to describe yourself. We were just discussing in the panel earlier, right? That personal branding. So personal branding really comes within you. If you feel that the product is right, take an extra step for this organization. Go ahead with what you think can help you help a wider organization. So that would be certainly my advice. Second thing is I'm very close to building more women in sales. I see there's immense scope. I've been participating in different forums to really encourage more women, not only in India but also abroad, to move into this domain. Everyone likes marketing. I think there's a lot of demand in marketing and there's a lot of supply in marketing. But there's a big demand and supply gap in sales. And women are natural relationship builders. So why women are so scared of utilizing their core skill, what actually God made us of? If you can actually build relationship internally, why can't you do it with your customers? That's where your forte lies in. Everyone wants to take a consulting job, probably, which is as demanding as sales, but still not sales. So I really tried it. I feel I'm doing good at it, and I'm ardently promoting it because I feel there is a lot of work which is required by women, and they can be much, much more successful. I mean, we've seen so many leaders, Indra Numi, uh, as a movie that okay, they have been really trying to build organizations. It definitely involved in a lot of sales concepts, and we should really utilize our natural skill, natural instinct. Probably we'll be much more successful. So that would be my encouragement advice, I would say. Third one would certainly be try different markets. Why do you want to restrict to India? Of course, India is a growing economy. We would want to contribute to economy, but there's a lot of exposure which is also outside. So definitely take a plunge, maybe for a few months. Try to explore what others are doing, even from internships perspective or even from virtual projects perspective. You'll get a lot of ideas what other economies are doing, where is it going. You might find they're much behind than India because India is really moving at a very super fast pace. But it's good to know what's exactly happening in the world. So definitely try to get some exposure there.
All right. Thank you so much, Tanya, for your insights from around the world. It was very much insightful for all of us, and we would like to end our podcast series over here. Thank you so
Thanks a lot
much.
for having me here.